Hi, everybody, and welcome back to La Capricornia with me, Priscilla Moreno. So, you guys, I'm going to change it up again, and I'm actually going to be doing reversals in my card reading. So, let me know what you guys think about that. So, for the first card for September is the Three of Swords. So, the Three of Swords, you guys, I do feel like you're letting go, you're releasing. I actually had this feeling of like you can breathe. Like I really do feel that whatever you were trying to heal from, like you've completely like gone and moved on from it. Maybe you were holding on to something, maybe you had that feeling in your heart of like this is always going to be like this, and you're realizing no, like it doesn't have to be. Like you took these swords out of your heart and you're just like, I'm going to move forward, like I'm not dealing with this anymore. Okay. The second card is the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands in reverse, you guys. Again, I don't know. Maybe we're just having a reversal day, but the Seven of Wands is, I feel like you were just like in combat mode. Like I said, it was something. It was either holding you back, or you were fighting, or you were just so into that was like sucking the energy out of you, and it's like you don't have to fight anymore, like it's not such a battle. Like this is something that you can move on from. Like you're not in that defensive mode anymore. And that's actually a really great feeling, you guys, because it sucks being stuck in defensive mode and like it just feels like you can't get out of it, right? So I definitely do feel that you are letting go and you're just, ooh, like I said, you're being able to breathe. I get that a lot. Like you're just like, I can breathe. I'm fine. I don't know what that feeling is exactly of like or how to describe it. It's like relief. Relief. There you go. You're just so relieved. I just feel like you're just like I feel free. Like you have freedom. So whatever choice you're making is giving you that freedom, you guys. Okay, and the next card is the Eight of Pentacles. So, Eight of Pentacles, you guys, you've been working towards this. Like, this isn't just something that just happened. Like, it's not just like, as in, like, oh, I was feeling a certain way and one day I'm not anymore. Like, you've been working hard towards this. You've been putting up those boundaries. You've been working on yourself. You've been prioritizing certain things. So, do not take it as in, like, oh, this is just a coincidence. This is my luck. Or, like, not giving yourself the credit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like you've done the work, you've mastered it. Whatever it is, the fear, if it's a fear, if it's like it could be anything. It could even be love, right? Like I do feel like maybe it was just your heart was broken, it's been broken for a while and you're finally letting that go, like letting that thought of like, is it going to be broken forever? Is anyone ever going to be able to like change my mind and my perception of this story that I have in my head? And you're really letting it go. And like I said, it's something you've been working on. It's not like it just happened overnight. I do feel like it took time to master, like, Pentacles, he's over there carving his stuff out. um I definitely do feel like you've been preparing for this. So it's, again, you guys, it might feel overnight, like I don't know why I'm getting that message, but it might feel like, oh, all of a sudden I'm free. But it's not all of a sudden. Like you've been putting in the work. It's not all of a sudden. Take that credit for yourself and be proud of yourself. Okay, so your guided card for that one is live your joy. So again, you guys, like I don't know, I really do feel like even like this is a decision that you've made and it's freeing you. It's freeing you of all these things, right? It could be maybe making a decision to move forward or to finally let go or put up a boundary, but it's just giving you so much joy. I like I said, it's like freedom, joy, getting so much and then such a relief. Like it's gonna feel like you just want to go out and celebrate a little bit. As weird as that sounds, like I guess live your joy. Like it sounds funny. Like it's not like really dancing. She's just kind of like throwing herself in the air, but I kind of get like a dancing, like you're just celebrating, like kind of disco vibe even going on, even though that is the moon. Like I just feel so much joy in this. I can't even describe it. Like I just do think that it's something that you finally have let go of. Okay, so the next guided card is the Scarab. So, Scarab is nourishment, transformation. So, again, I do feel like you've been working towards this. You've been taking care of yourself. You've been doing the work, and it's finally paying off. It's finally paying off. And, like I said, maybe it was just that realization of like, I'm no longer thinking about this. And you might have reflected or something, but it's just like, oh, this used to bother me, or this used to be such a big focus on my life, or I was so scared of things. And then you're realizing, like, I'm not, like, I'm just free. I'm free of this. And the next part is transformation that's on here as well. So it was like a transformation you went through. Like, it's just so many things. And I was actually talking about this in the last reading that at I felt like so many things were changing in my life, and I was like freaking out. Like, honestly, mentally, I was kind of freaking out, like, oh, I thought something was one way and then it just completely flipped on me and it wasn't the story that I thought it was. And then, we're in retrogrades right now. So I had other things pop up from the past and just different things. And I almost kind of felt like my world was falling apart, but it honestly wasn't, you guys. And I do feel like it was all part of the transformation, all part of, like, this nourishment of, like, hey, this is a blockage that was in your road and you need to let go. And it's not that big of a deal. It's something that, it's not like, not that it's not important to you, but like I said, you have that freedom. It no longer affects you. Okay, you guys, so for the next guided message, you do have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And honestly, I feel like this is maybe something that you're trying, because this one makes me think it's something that failed. It's something that didn't go through. It's something that you may be feeling like you were down on. And, like, I don't know, it could be like a relationship maybe that failed. It could be, I'm getting more of a sense like maybe like a work or business idea. I kind of feel like something didn't go through as planned. And it's like, I don't know, I get this feeling of like disappointment. And I'm not getting it like from anybody else. I'm feeling it from you, of like a little disappointed. Um, I can definitely resonate with this because I had some things going on and I thought I was like on target to like make this be like an amazing thing that was just gonna change my life, and it didn't happen. And again, I think it's just seeing the bright side of it, of it didn't happen for a reason. And you know just even trying and doing parts of it gave you something, and I think you have to like recognize it and hold on to that, because if not, you're just you're gonna be stuck in the why, and you're gonna be stuck in like feeling like not enough. And I think that's what it's telling you. It's like, okay, something didn't go through, but I also feel like maybe it's because it just wasn't meant for you. It just wasn't meant for you, or it was meant to teach you something. And I feel like that's where this is coming from. But do not be discouraged, you guys. The Wheel of Fortune's always turning around. I don't, it's weird because I almost kind of feel like a nonchalant think about this. Like, I don't know. I feel like it kind of was upsetting maybe, but then it was also like honestly, when I really think about it, like it's fine. Like, I don't know. It almost kind of feels like whatever. Okay. So the 10 of Swords in reverse. So same thing with this one. I do feel which is funny because I was talking about how like it kind of felt like it was a lot, but then it wasn't. I feel like you're like whatever this is that didn't work out, like it was just so over dramatized, like so overplayed. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like if it was a relationship, maybe you were like now you're realizing like, oh my gosh, this was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And then you really thought about it, like, I really did not want to be with that person. Like, all the stuff that was happening, all the things that they were doing, all the things that I was doing, things that were happening. Like, I feel like it was, and I'm not saying like you shouldn't feel that way because I know what it's like to feel that way, but maybe we're still holding on to that thought and you were like just over dramatizing it. When it comes to work, maybe the same thing, or an idea that you had, you were just like, kind of like I mentioned right now, right? I had this idea. I felt like it was going to change my life. I was so dramatic about this, you guys. And it didn't work out. And I definitely like just felt like, oh, like my whole vision of my life changing just like crushed before my eyes. And yes, it's so dramatic, you guys. But that's what I'm feeling. But I'm feeling like it was just like so dramatic, and it's like fine. You are over dramatizing it. You are taking on too much of that. The Wheel of Fortune's always moving around in circles like that. It's gonna come to you in a different way. It wasn't meant for you. You need to recognize the lessons that you've learned from it and just move forward with you guys. Okay, the Queen of Swords and also reverse. So again, I really think that this is in line with, we are just over it's something big too. Like I think you're finally seeing why it didn't work out. Like you're getting that clarity, you're getting that like recognition in your head of like, "Oh, this is why it didn't work." Like I don't know. I don't know if it's just going to like hit you that hard or if it's going to take some time, but I definitely do feel like you are getting that. I'm also feeling like I don't know, I kind of feel like you're not you're not like in listening to yourself. That's what I was trying to look for. Like I honestly felt it like within me. And so I think that's what I'm trying to say is you felt it within you that this wasn't for you, but you still but you still had to do it. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I know I've said this before, like, you know, I feel like I have to do this even if it's not meant for me. And I don't know how to describe it, but it might not be even something I want to do wholeheartedly. Like, you know what I mean? Because I know people that do certain things because that's their skill. Like, so we were talking last time in a group of coworkers that we know how to do a certain thing, and I was explaining how I know how to make something, and they're like, "Oh, that's actually a really good business. Like, you should sell stuff." And because I had shown them like this hat that I made, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you could do this, you could do that," and I was like, "Okay, like." um not at all something I want to do. Like if I really were to try, like it would be more money driven than actually like this makes me happy doing this all day. Because and honestly, I only like to do them for my kids and for me and sometimes some gifts, but I'm not over here like advertising to the world like guess what you guys, Priscilla's starting a hat business. Yeah, sorry, she's not meant for me. She's not meant for me. So like again, I think you have that feeling inside of you like you did this for a certain reason. It might have been for the wrong things, you guys, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're doing it for the wrong things, and that's what you're realizing. Like, did I really want this to work out? Like I over dramatized this, right? You wanted to work for the wrong things and you just over dramatized it. Okay, so your guided card is the spirit animal. So there's something that's calling out to you, and it could be in an animal, because it is spirit animal. It could be something maybe you keep seeing, whether it's like a certain type of animal. I would really suggest looking up what type of animal it is. I haven't had this one in a while. The last time I've had something happen where like I felt like something was calling me was actually with like butterflies. For some reason, these things were like everywhere. And I just like everybody kept talking about them too. And then my daughter at the same time kept saying like, do you notice that we keep seeing white butterflies? And then it was like at the end of the day, I figured out what the message was, but at the same time, it was kind of like, sometimes we don't pay attention. And then once maybe this is what it's trying to tell you, like, once you see it, you'll understand it. And it's going to give you that message of what it is. Like, what I do sometimes is I'll, like, Google it, right? I'll Google, like, what does this mean? Like, even if it's not looking at my own culture or beliefs, like, just seeing what is the importance of this animal in general. And sometimes that's how we can find exactly what we're looking for. Okay, your next guided card is the wheel, which is endings and beginnings. So endings and beginnings. Again, I think there was like I said, there was a decision of something. There's an end to it, and you're getting like a new beginning here. Like, do not see it as like, oh, my life is over. Like I said, so over traumatized. I was like, it's gonna change my life. This wasn't it. This wasn't it. There's something out there. There's something out there that is going to do that for me, but it isn't that. Again, it's not just like a complete ending, it's a beginning to something else. We definitely need to look at failure as an opportunity to do something else and not just be like, oh, I failed. I'm going to go crawl under a rock and, wait it out for the rest of my life. No, no, this is another beginning, you guys. This is what it is. Okay, so for the last message, the first one that I'm getting is judgment. And oof, I really do feel like there's something coming to light that, actually, I kind of almost feel like it was the past. Like, I feel like the judgment was already passed. Like, we're past this, you know what I mean? And it might not have even been you. Like, I don't know. I guess okay, so I guess the best way I can describe the feeling that I'm getting and the story that I'm getting in my head is like maybe you've been through some things, right? And at the time you're kind of like I deserve this. Or you've thought about it even afterwards and you're like I've been through all this and I see why I'm going through this or why I did this or why, I had to learn this lesson. Like you had your judgment. I actually have had a couple of these, you guys. I'm not perfect. I have not always been the best person in my past, so to be very honest with you, like I seen sometimes where like I did get some of my karma, I got my judgment and you know, I do feel like I said this is like in the past. I feel like you're going out of this like maybe it's a cycle that's like you're ending and you're just like, "Oh, this I'm totally done with this cycle. Like I'm over it." And you're getting that freedom. You got your judgment. You're done. You know what I mean? You serve your time. You're done. I definitely do feel like just going up from here. Okay, the next card is the Tower. So, yes, you guys, Judgment, Tower. Like, there was something that really was life changing, and you went through it. You went through it for a little bit, and it felt like that. It felt like a tower moment of like everything just broke apart to pieces, you know, and nothing is the same anymore. And I do feel like it's something like within us of like, hey, like, move forward. Like, going back to these previous messages, letting go and seeing that things aren't what they are anymore or things were for the better. And, let me pull out this last card. So the Six of Swords, moving on, you guys. So yeah, I definitely do feel like there was a judgment. Like everything crumbled to the floor. Like I said, you had to rebuild. There was a judgment. You did your time. You had to do what you had to do. It was everything was on fire. Everything was on fire. It crumbled to the ground. Now it's time to move forward. Now it's time to move somewhere else. You can't live there anymore. And I've actually used this before. You cannot go back there. You cannot live there. Like this is not livable anymore. Like you can't stay in the past, you guys. Like you have to move forward. Take your lessons, take your kids, take everything and just move forward. Like it's not for you anymore. Like it's not. And like that can be hard, you guys. That can be so hard because yeah, you're just like, but I want to. Like that used to be my home. It's like it's not your home anymore. It's burned to the ground, like unless you have $1 billion to like reconstruct it and make it exactly to what it your image of what you thought was perfect was. Something out there that's better for you. I know that probably is not the best good comparison, but here we go, you guys. Okay, so the guided card is Open Your Heart with Archangel Chamuel. So this is really feeling like you really need to open your heart and you need to like I just feel like I said, like you've been past this and maybe you're feeling like, okay, because this all happened, like it was a karma thing. Maybe you felt like it was karma because to be very honest with you, I've thought of a couple things that like I have done in my past and I see where I got my karma. And unfortunately everybody has to pay for them. Everybody has to pay for it sooner or later. It comes back to you. Your great lesson is going to be there. And I just feel like this is telling you like, okay, like we've been through this, like you can't go back and we need to move forward, but you also need to open your heart. You need to open your heart. Like I get it can be hard to move on and not have that control of knowing and like just instantly knowing, like for me, I've always said to you guys, trust. So I can't just, I can't always think I know that I can trust someone. I can, meet people, but I have to be very open and be like, okay, I need to give them my trust until they prove that they're not trustworthy, right? That doesn't mean I'm gonna freaking like go overboard on my trust, but at the same time, like I'm gonna give it to them like a certain amount, right? A healthy amount, and then we can go from there. And that's something that's really hard. And I've had to have even conversations up to this day, like about like, okay, like stop, Priscilla. Like it's in your head. You need to trust, and you have an open heart, and until somebody proves you wrong. And that's pretty much it, you guys. So your next guided card is the Lion, which is strength and success. So again, I do feel like you got so strong and you have so much success coming out from like this ruin of like what that judgment was and what the ending was and the tower and the fire. And like I said, I really do feel like it was a horrible part of your life. Like, you know, um I really do. I really feel these past 10 years, I know that sounds like such a broad time, past 10 years have honestly been some of the roughest years of my life. And I'm not just like talking about like financially or economics or things like that. I'm talking about like just personally, like relationships, the lessons I've learned, the things I've gone through. I look really looking back, I am in such a better spot than I am now, but I am also so strong. Like I am this lion. Like I feel like God, like you know what I mean? Like I was it's I guess hard to explain this, but like I was such a little cub back then and now I'm like this lion. I have so much strength. I have this success. Even if it isn't where I want to be at, I am much better for it. And I have this wisdom and I can probably look back and there's times again like anybody you guys where I'm like, why did I do certain things? But good things came out of it, you guys. And that's the thing that we have to hold on to is we have to be positive. Okay, you guys. So that's it for the readings. Now I'm gonna pull up your crystal for the month, which is azurite. The stone shakes and wakes up your third eye and your crown chakras. Once awakened by this high frequency stone, they become one linked in harmony. Used with meditation, it can make you more aware and open your mind to your astral projection and inner visions. So, you guys, this sounds actually like a really good one. And okay, so I actually was talking about this earlier with a friend. I feel that more people are trying to access records and do past life and learn all these things that they can come forward with. And I feel like this is a really good stone to help with that because it's going to help bring that out, awaking your third eye. And even mentions like the astral projection and your inner visions. Like, I don't know. I'm not even hyping up the song, but it's just that's definitely the message I'm getting. And I don't know, it just made me think about that message. Okay, so your three affirmations are: today is a fresh start. Today is a brand new day that I will embrace as a new beginning and make this the most of my day. Guys, goes in line with that beginning, ending, and beginnings. Next message. Today I am at peace. Today I am at peace with all that has happened and all that is happening and all that will happen. Which I should really like that one. Again, you guys, like so in line with our message of like, okay, like, we've had this happen. We're going through this. It's like you've pulled stuff out, you have freedom. Like I'm at peace with everything. I'm just so happy with everything. Then today I'm healthy. Today my mind, my heart, and my soul are one healthy being. Definitely. I definitely think like maybe that's where I was going with this. Like you're just so much better mentally, physically, I just feel like there's a new direction in your life where you're going with it. It might not even just be like, like a healthy, you know, I don't feel like it's like how some people like will do like, oh, it's because I want to lose weight kind of thing. I don't think you're looking at it like that. Like you're just literally being healthy. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not doing it because like, oh, this is the how I want to look. Like it's like, no, I want to be healthy. Like healthy in general. It doesn't have to be again either like diets or stuff like that. But I just think in general overall, like your mind, your body, like everything you're choosing. I definitely feel like there's a different focus there. I don't know why I had such a huge message for that one, but that one definitely came out really strong. But that's the end of the messages for you guys. I'm gonna try doing again what I did last month and kind of walk through each week with a different part of the message and see where it goes from there, okay? So have a great month, everybody, and enjoy September.